and welcome to Inside Nigeria, your favorite newspaper headline review show. My name is Tion Joseph, and this morning, in just about 10 minutes, I'll be reading to you major stories from five different Nigerian newspapers. Do permit me to begin with Leadership newspaper. On the front page of Leadership this morning, the lead story says Naira redesign, fuel scarcity targeted at me, says Tinubu. Says plan to scuttle 2023 elections will fail. Black May won't save you. PDP tells Asiwaju. PMB's support for APC flag bearer unquestionable. This is coming from the presidency. That is what we have on the front page of Leadership this morning. But of course, you can find more stories on our website if you can just hop on to www.leadership.ng and you will be served. Having said that, let's look at the report from The Guardian this morning. The lead story on The Guardian says Tinubu jabs FG, alleges sabotage with fuel crisis, Naira redesign. Attacking Buhari won't save you from defeat. Article mocks Tinubu. Stop going to Abeokuta, Obi taunts Tinubu. Marketers hoard fuel. Find alibi in revised LASG directive on operations. Marketers may sue NNPC over inability to deliver PMS. And lastly, again, Buhari back to PMS tracking as petrol scarcity persists. That is the report we have from the Guardian newspaper. And now we take a look at the Punch. The story on the Punch this morning says recent crisis aimed at stopping me, says Tinubu. Says now redesign fuel scarcity designed to scuttle poll. Tinubu trying to blackmail Buhari, says article campaign. Allegations unfair, fuel scarcity, crisis perennial, says marketers. That is the report we have from the Punch this morning. And now we look at The Nation. Tinubu, fifth columnist behind petrol scarcity, Naira redesign row. There are plots to embarrass Buhari, scuttle elections. This is what we have from The Nation this morning. Now, to conclude the first part of the show, we have the Vanguard. And the lead story, the Vanguard newspaper this morning says, at Vanguard Economic Discourse, How to Fight Inflation by NESG, OPS, others stakeholders. One against over-reliance on monetary policy instrument. Point way forward on inflation growth. Only drastic measures will make the difference in 2023, says NSG. And lastly, CBN will deploy available tools to tackle inflation, says Emefiele. I will leave the rest of the bullets to be handled by the panel discussion. Thank you for staying tuned for the first part of the show. My name is Tion Joseph. I crave your indulgence to do the same for the second part of the show. I'll be back your way 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Please stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters. Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the Thursday edition of Inside Nigeria. It's reaching you on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Ubebo. It's my pleasure to be hosting you today's edition. And with me in the studio is a public affairs analyst, also a political scientist. It's Olamileko Adefolare. Adefolare, it's always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thanks
My Thursday
for
guest.
Yes.
Thank you so much. As you can see, we have some papers for review and discussion. This morning, we have 6 papers talking about Nigeria's most influential newspaper leadership: The Guardian, The Nation, The Punch, Vanguard, and these day newspapers. These are papers for review this morning, and incidentally, most of the papers have the same headline story as their cover. Let's take it one after the other, after which we'll discuss the cover story. Leadership says Naira redesign fuel scarcity targeted at me, Tinubu. Naira redesign fuel scarcity targeted at me, Tinubu. Says plans to scuttle 2023 elections will fail. Blackmail which won't save you, PDP tells Asiwaju. PNB support for APC flag bearer unquestionable. Presidency. I'll take that again. Naira redesign fuel scarcity targeted at me, Tinubu. Says plans to scuttle 2023 elections will fail. Blackmail won't save you, PDP tells Asiwaju. PNB support for APC flag bearer unquestionable. Presidency. From leadership, The Guardian. The Guardian also has similar stories. I just want to take the papers. Tinubu jabs federal government, alleges sabotage with fuel crisis, Naira redesign. Tinubu jabs federal government, alleges sabotage with fuel crisis, Naira redesign. Attacking Buhari won't save you from defeat, Atiku mocks Tinubu. Stop going to Abeokuta, Obi turns Tinubu. Marketers hurt few. Find alibi in revised Lagos State government directive on operations. Marketers may sue NNPC over inability to deliver PMS. Again, Buhari back to PMS tracking as petrol scarcity persists. That's The Guardian. Tinubu jabs federal government, alleges sabotage with fuel crisis, Naira redesign. From The Guardian, The Nation also has similar story. Tinubu, 5th columnist behind petrol scarcity, Naira redesign now. Tinubu, 5th columnist behind petrol scarcity, Naira redesign rule. There are plots to embarrass Buhari, scuttle elections. The Punch. Recent crisis aimed at stopping me, Tinubu. Recent crisis aimed at stopping me, Tinubu. Says Naira redesign fuel scarcity designed to scuttle poll. Tinubu trying to blackmail Buhari Atiku campaign. Allegations unfair, fuel crisis perennial, say marketers. That's the leading story on some of these papers today. And this day also has similar cover story. Tinubu, petrol scarcity, Naira redesign ploy to sabotage my victory in the election. Tinubu, Petrol scarcity, Naira redesign ploy to sabotage my victory in the election. Let fuel be scarce, change ink of Naira, I will win, declares former Lagos governor. Atiku to Tinubu, currency redesign has destroyed your bullion ban plan. Insist attacking president won't save his failing campaign. That's the leading story also on this day newspaper that's just read. Tinubu, petrol scarcity, now redesign ploy to sabotage my victory in the election.
These are political season.
Papers are washed with headline stories on
exactly.
Tinubu. Actually, Tinubu, the APC presidential candidate, made the headline story of nation's papers.
Exactly. This is a very bold statement from Tinubu.
Do you see this as a tactical move, considering the fact that his own party that is in power, ruling party APC, and
Definitely.
he's making a grab at this party?
Definitely. I can even read it from a different perspective into what he has said. One, let's quickly look at it from this angle. Every season of election like this, especially general election like this, either in opposition or ruling party must always have one tactics, just as you have already pointed out, to persuade, to win the heart of people, to also cause a little shaking in the political environment, whereby people will now understand, okay, there is always a means of sabotage one way or the
But
other.
however, Adefolari, considering the fact that he's a ruling party,
It doesn't matter.
it's a party in power,
This is
and
politics.
this fuel scarcity has been perennial since February last year, 2022, and it has not abated. And a situation whereby we are going into polls in the next about less than 4 weeks.
Exactly. And again, we must also know that the fuel scarcity is not just being caused or something that is happening that is solely in the hand of the federal government alone. Even though we know the NNP is solely
But President Muhammad Buhari is the Minister of Petrol.
The Minister of Petrol. Is he on the field? He's not always on the field. He's only hearing report or reading report of what is happening in the field. The main people at the field or on the field know what is really happening. That's why we're having this scarcity. And NNP should always come out and tell you that we have enough in storage. Like on Monday, Tuesday, 4 loaded ships are batting at their Papa port to offload their product. That means to say the product is there. So why the scarcity? And the excuse they will give you, okay, we have a challenge with the logistics, we have a challenge with the chain of distribution and the rest of it. But we know beyond that. I've said it on other platforms that the one thing that the NNPC is trying to do is to make sure that they get to that actual price they are looking for. And that price is to ensure that they get to that 430, 450 naira per liter. And that's why they don't pull any spring. Rather, IPMA will come and say it is depot owners. Depot owners will come and tell you because of marketers or scarcity of forex. The NNPC will come and say, okay, we're creating Russian war and we have bad fuel. All those excuses is driving towards something. What is that? It is the price. And you can see what has happened in the last 4-5 days. The price is now getting to now in Abuja, some filling station 300, 280. Why? So, but on the political side is this: either you are in opposition party or you are not in the main party, there will always be something that will make you to speak out that this election, if it doesn't go my way, it means some people somewhere are doing something.
But for a party that is in power and we're having these issues, it calls for worries or concerns.
Again, you also look at the campaign strategies of the opposition.
Because everyone would have expected that they would want to retain power, given the fact that they've stayed 8 years and all this stuff. So they would have put everything in place to ensure that all these things that are constituting challenges to their re-election will be taken care of. Talking about this fuel scarcity, it's almost going to a year now.
My own take is this: look at the conglomeration of the parties.
With Tinubu's outburst, it has become like a house divided against itself.
Definitely, that's what is happening. It definitely, if it doesn't stand, it's going to affect them if they lose the election. All of them will come at the end of the day and they want to judge themselves. Are we done with? How do we lose the election? But look at the conglomeration of the parties themselves, the people in the political parties. They are here, they lose, they jump to this place. They are here, they lose, they jump to this place. So they are just like changing ship at any point in time. When the moment they see that they are going to lose, and they see the handwriting on the wall, they change ship. And that's what is happening. And if Tinubu is coming at this time to say, okay, we have sabotage in our midst, especially in the federal government, trying to pull the string to ensure that APC doesn't come back to power, or him personally, not APC at this point in time, him personally does not win the election. Because if you look at the congregation of people who are in those different parties, it's on the basis of the ethno-religious and tribal sentiment affiliation. that's happening. So if a Southerner cannot be allowed to win the presidency in 2023, that means they are pulling the string for a particular region, a particular candidate to come back. So why are they doing that? Because the elite in Nigeria have understood something. It is just the sharing of the resources.
Yes.
It not necessarily mean that our party must win. In as long as somebody that is going to take care of us will be in the affairs of Nigeria, definitely we must allow that person go. But we are going to have somebody, even though it's in our party, it will not allow us to have the key to where the storehouses or where the resources are stored. Should we allow such person to come in? They will do everything possible to not to allow that person to come. And that's what is happening in our political environment these days. It is not just about the party, but including individuals who are contesting, because the individual also matters. If the party, a particular individual come into power and will sabotage us, will not allow our tribe, our ethnic group to also enjoy the fruit of the wealth of the nation. Should we allow that person? Why don't you allow our person to continue so that we can continue to enjoy what we have been enjoying before? Not necessarily party affiliation, but right now it is about the individual who is going to service the interest of a particular elite from a particular region or a particular setting. And that's what is happening. That's why you have to come out. Even though the other two candidates, leading candidates or three candidates, they have not spoken, but they know that this thing is also affecting them. Would they not say their first scarcity will not be in that the logistic of their members to campaign rally? They have it. This Naira redesigning, are they not saying it's not affecting them?
Oh yes, they had. I was even coming to that. Even prior to this Naira redesigning, and there was no house guard anyway. When the CBN governor said yes, it's to curtail this. Even the president said
exactly
this election
vote buying exactly
during this election. So I'm surprised that it's also part of the angst Tinubu has against it.
Definitely, he has to speak up, because with individual political parties or individual politicians have developed and redesigned and designed their strategies on how to win the election or how to persuade or to win vote to themselves. Now, maybe on his own side, fuel scarcity, according to him, because I read the statement, fuel scarcity will not allow people to go and vote, and he said we will trek. That was his own reply. Then maybe Naira redesigning will not allow us to do the normal distribution, either to buy vote or to persuade people, or to then we'll do what we'll sacrifice whatever Naira know that we will give to you.
And the Nigerians too, or politicians, they always play politics with everything, because
exactly.
Atiku is replying to Tinubu saying that currency redesign has destroyed your bullion van plan. But I don't understand. So why are they related? Are they saying that they are not feeling the pangs of this scarcity?
It's just political statement.
Or do they live in
oblivion or outside Nigeria? So they're also feeling it. All the campaign they have been running around, it is not money that's spending. The issue is that they just want to lamp on this and say, okay, this is what is you think that will help you. But we have discovered that this will not. They are just replying it. But the key issue is this: the three leading candidates or the falling, all the political parties, they have been affected and impacted by this fuel scarcity and Naira redesigning. But the issue is that because he came out to say it, let us wait. Maybe dive into the election day or dive into this particular policy. They also will also come up, because I know majority of their members individually in their small groups, they are complaining.
They are.
If you enter public transport or you're in a public environment, you see people complaining. They all belong to one political party or affiliation to one political, and they are complaining.
But they're not also using it to campaign all this while.
They are. If before now,
when they come in, there will be no
more fuel scarcity, and some of them are even land on this CBN redesigning that it's a means of CBN and some people in the APC government to steal money or to loot money or to make more money. That's what they are saying. So why are they now using it against him? That although it's politics, so we should expect all these kind of jabs coming from all angles, from political parties and individuals.
Yeah. So we are seeing the presidency reply that PNB support for APC flag bearer unquestionable. So how would you respond to that?
It has been demonstrated. I think Buhari has been campaigning for him, and he has signaled about 10 states. Yes, he will go and campaign for it. And major stakeholders in APC, they have been going around campaigning for him. Although this particular statement that he made in Abeokuta yesterday was, although for people who could have managed the communication of or the speech or whatever, would have managed it, and just if they have restricted it to only the fuel scarcity, it would have been a little bit manageable. But now putting it on the other side of Naira redesigning, won't make it and blow it out of proportion, and people now begin to react. And something that Buhari himself has put under, there's no going back on Naira redesigning. So while with someone like that make that, but although we also know that it's also to catch some people out, because people if you check grassroots mobilization of APC, PDP, Labour Party, and the rest of it, one of the catching aspects where the opposition have been using to campaign against the government is fuel scarcity, and this Naira redesigning, because majority of Nigerians on the other side believe that it is a means to ensure that APC members make money from the government, especially the fuel scarcity. When if you hear a typical opposition opponent will say, after all, when they came to power, they say fuel subsidy is scam. So why I didn't see a line fuel subsidy to take place? No, they always make that statement. But at this point in time, it means that this thing is biting hard on everybody across board in the political environment that we found ourselves today.
You know, with this kind of comment, one will say that maybe it's a cry for help. Now redesign fuel scarcity targeted at me. What would you think to say? So we have 19 politicians vying for that same slot.
He's not only him per se, but he's the one that is now actually at the forefront saying it to. For me, this is what is.
But the others don't take it personal. Why he from a ruling party? Why is he taking it personal?
These politicians,
what I just
they are politicians. They may not say it. They may not want to say it the way it is haunting them. But for someone like him who is a political strategist, you know what he's saying, and he's speaking direct to the heart of some certain individuals, especially core supporters of him himself, because in his statement that he made, he said, that means we will beat them down in Yoruba. That means he will beat them down. In the election coming, we will beat them down. Or every saboteur, we're going to make sure that we flush them out. Including the PDP who are trying to make sure that they come back to power. We will beat them down. That's what he's saying. So,
but at the end of the day, because from reactions so far from the one I've read, it has actually elicited the condemnations that he, being a member and even a chieftain of the ruling party, now coming out to say this. No, they are taking his words with a grain of salt, and actually it has elicited condemnations.
You know, in most of our analysis, I would say, even though if you're a member of a political party and your party is not doing the right thing, can't you speak up? In this regards now, he's not just speaking for himself, he's also speaking for a generality of people who believe that Naira redesigning and fuel scarcity is supposed not to be an issue at this point in time, and especially going to an election year. And that's what he's saying. And as a politician who I have already said before, is a strategist, he's speaking to some individuals who believe that with Tinubu, we will get there and we can do what we need to do to ensure Nigeria get better, based on their own understanding of how politics and development is supposed to be. But I know that he is speaking directly to some individuals who may also want to be compromised in the same party that they are. But they must understand that at this point in time, there's no going back. Either we allow the election to hold, or we must ensure that everybody fall in line and get things done.
And that the ruling party will be actually demarcated itself by this fuel scarcity.
Exactly. Because if you read the statement, he didn't even mention anybody's name.
No, he didn't.
He didn't mention, but he was saying, speaking directly.
The people that are in charge of fuel
importation,
it's not the opposition party.
But we know that,
it's the ruling party, of which the president is the minister of petroleum.
You know, before we came on air, I said something. I say in the oil and gas sector in Nigeria, it is not the government officials that are majorly in control. We have people who are not even interested in politics, but they are strictly businessmen and women who are only interested in profit. These are the people that are making profit out of the refusal of the government or successive government right from time to ensure that we refine our product here. That's why somebody can boast that it was one time the biggest importer of diesel across Africa. Why? Because that same individual refused to allow refinery to be built in Nigeria and refused to collect license to build refinery in Nigeria. These are the set of people who they are not interested in contest for anything. But the one is that let this business just be usual as usual and let us continue to make our money and take advantage of gaps in the system. And the disadvantage and gaps in the system is what they are taking up, and the government cannot do anything. Even though the presidents are constituting a 4-man committee headed by him again to look into the logistics and decision of this same PMS, we just hope they can find a lasting solutions to it.
I think, yes, before we go on break, I want to agree with you that most of these people in oil sector in Nigeria are actually businessmen, because that's what we have seen happening over time again during elections.
Exactly.
We also saw that during Jonathan's time when the election was there was fuel scarcity.
Exactly.
I think, why is it that they take this opportunity to cripple the sector down? Why?
Just like what Tinubu said, we have sabotage in the system. Who are those sabotage? People who don't want something to happen against them, but to favor them. That's what he's trying to say. But in this case now, there are people in this same government who are making money, who are making wealth out of the lapses. So those kind of people at this point in time, now the president has formed a 14-man committee. What would they be doing? We have the EFCC, DSS, the police, all of them in that same committee. What would they do? But you know that the people outside there, they can also influence this set of
in
people.
fact, was it a month ago or 2 months ago? That was in December. The DSS even gave 48 hours
Ultimatum to all the filling stations, and they comply, but they have gone back to their shell and begin to do the
maybe
wrong thing.
DSS should be giving the directive every now and then. Well, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at another paper we have on our menu. Yes, don't go away. Stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
You're welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Inside Nigeria, where we discuss, we review and discuss front page headline stories. My name is Winnie Fadekova. With me in the studio is a public affairs analyst and a political scientist, Adefolari Olanilokan. It's always a pleasure to be hosting the program. Thank you once again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, the next paper we have for review is Vanguard. Vanguard newspaper says that's at their economic discourse, how to fight inflation by National Economic Summit Group, OPS, other stakeholders. Stories on page 11 is actually their story that is coming up, a program that is coming up later. Meanwhile, still on Vanguard newspaper, reps to security agencies arrest oil marketers behind fuel scarcity. Reps to security agencies arrest oil marketers behind fuel scarcity. What do you want to say about that?
The issue is that can they be they only go and arrest outlet filling station owners, not the real marketers, because the real marketers, we know that they are the ones that control the shares in the oil distribution in Nigeria. So although let's just see what they can do, because especially the last time the DSS gave an ultimatum that they should all make sure that fuel scarcity in Abuja and its environment are restored, and they quickly do that. We just hope that they will not wait till they are arrested before they start making fuel available. And again, the question that I beg for answer is this: how come that when NNPC remain the sole importer of this particular product, scarcity is still the case that we need to bear with? And it boils down to the gaps in the administration in this oil and gas sector. Before we went on that during the break, I said the Petroleum Act has already made it very easy, especially the downstream sector that talks about the transportation, the logistics of this sector, of the product to be distributed widely across the country. So why are we still having challenges that government now have to constitute a 14-man panel to begin to investigate what is really happening in the distribution of this product? So it's best for answer. We just hope that it is not just arresting them that they will go ahead and do, but rather they will restore the logistic and distribution of this product across board without any hindrance, either in Abuja and across the remaining 36 states in the country.
Thank you so much. I want to go back again to leadership newspaper. We have just 5 days to go. 5 days to go for leadership's conference and awards. and leadership will be giving awards to distinguished personality Nigerians that has made impact in their various fields. Among them is His Excellency Godwin, His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State. We have His Excellency the Delta State Governor. We have Abdul Rahman Razak of Para State, the Governor. We have His Excellency Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State. We have even Zulum, Babagana Zulum of Borno State. We also have Wiki. These are some of the awards, and of course, we also, okay, sorry, that is a Vanguard newspaper. We have our own awardees. We have Wiki, we have El-Rufai governors. Those are some of the people we'll be giving the awards to on that day. And the theme for the conference is credible elections and economy in transition. The keynote speaker is former Kenya Prime Minister Honorable Raila Odinga. The chairman of the occasion is His Excellency Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo. He's also going to be the chairman of the occasion. Some of our awardees are the President, Afrexim Bank, Professor Benedict Orama, who is the Person of the Year. We have the Chairman, NDLEA, General Mohammed Bamhawa. We have Person of the Year, 100-meter hurdles, runner, Oluwatobiloba Amusan. We have Person of the Year in the person of the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. We have Politicians of the Year, Executive Governor Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. We have Governor of the Year, Executive Governor Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai. We also have Executive Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun. We have Governor of the Year, that is the Governor of the Year too. We have the DG Industrial Training Fund, Sir Joseph Ari. These are some of the awardees that we are going to be giving award. Perhaps you have something to say about our award.
Exactly. For one is that the list is loaded. It's a list of Nigerians and people who have in their own areas, in their own sectors have contributed one way or the other to Nigerian economy, Nigerian development, and also in the political environment of Nigeria. They also done one or two things to attract and to to have this recognition being given to them. So it's kudos to Leadership Newspaper, and I want to believe that this Leadership Newspaper award has been sustained over the years, and it has shown that there's consistency. And when you institutionalize something like this, it keep growing, and it attract that that prestige that we all look for in this kind of award. Even though some people will tell you that award does it have any monetary or price attached to it, but you know that recognizing you for doing some one or two things is quite enduring, and it lasts long as a memory in such people's life.
Okay. Thank you so much. So these before we just call off, we end today's program. I also want us to discuss what happened 2 days ago in the aviation district, where passengers were stranded because the aviation workers went on strike, and the federal government is replying that the aviation workers strike won't happen again.
No, what the thing is that what is really generating this strike? There was this time they talk about the boycotting guys that went and sacked some people that have to go on strike. They definitely shut down the MMA 1 and 2. That was last year. Then this particular one it also boils down to welfare packages and all those things.
It always boils down to it.
But the issue remains that is it that most of these airline workers, most of them belong to the private sector airline. Most of them you can hardly see that federal airport authority workers go on strike. But what is wrong with the operators of this private airline? Is it that they are not making returns, they are not making profit to meet up with the challenges of their welfare package of their workers? And we have advised, I'm also a comrade of Nigerian Labour Congress, and we have advised that you must not overbloated your labor, what they call it, your recruitment something by recruiting more than, because most of them, what they suffer from, they recruit more than necessary numbers of workers they need. So when they are now having challenges of taking care of those bogus numbers of workers, they will not be able to take care of them because of other operational costs, and they end up owing workers, owing salaries, or they end up sacking workers without due also labor relation laws in Nigeria, and that's why they found themselves in those challenges.
All right, thank you so much for having time to be with us today to review and discuss some newspaper stories. I look forward to having you same time, same station program.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for fixing me for Thursday.
Yeah, thank you. So viewers, this is where we end today's program. Don't forget, same time, same station tomorrow is another day. I look forward to having you tomorrow for the program. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.